Hi, my name is Kyle, and I'm with PMI McCaw Properties, and I'm with Mark Roland here, and he is with Foursquare Insurance, and I'm going to just ask him some questions about insurance today. And so, one of the questions that I myself asked when I was starting to accumulate my rental properties is, when do I go from having a rental policy for every single rent house, and when does it make sense to just look at the commercial policy, and is there a difference? So maybe you can educate us.
Well, Kyle, on the commercial policy, one advantage over the individual policies, obviously, is I can put all your properties on one policy. If I've got an investor who is buying and selling a lot of buying and selling property and constantly moving property, the commercial policy lets us just add it, delete it, and go as they buy and sell. Where the personal policy does, it start and you've got to pay a flat premium, and you've got to cancel the policy and start a whole other policy if you buy another property, and back and forth, and they get re-underwritten every time.
Just more cumbersome, kind of a lot more drafts out of my bank account, things of that nature.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that one. That is a good point. The commercial policy also lets you have vacant property. A lot of the policies at either 30 or 60 days, they'll reduce coverage on it if the house is empty, especially maybe say the tenants have moved out and you've got it up for sale. During that period of time, if it takes longer to sell than you think, they can reduce coverage if something happens in that point, where the commercial policy is fine with it being vacant. When you first buy a house and you're going to spend 2 or 3 months rehabbing it, the commercial policy is fine with that. Where if I do it on an individual policy, I've got to do a builder's risk policy first, then I've got to go to, when that build out is done, then I've got to write a regular landlord policy.
And the builder's risk is expensive.
They can be.
Yeah.
They can be. And there's not a lot on the builder's risk. There's basically, if it, during that construction time, if it burns up or blows away, that's about all the coverage there is.
Right.
And you want more coverage than that.
It covers your actual losses, the
Right.
potential. So, okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Of course, the commercial policy allows us, while we have all the policies on one, different coverages, different rental amounts. If you've got one you want loss of rents, you got one that you don't want loss of rents on, and all of that's built in at a set dollar amount. On the individual policies, where on the commercial, we can actually put in what your real rent is and charge you for the real rent.
Gotcha.
So,
all right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So let's think. What's another builder's risk? So when a person's, we got to be thinking about what
do they ever talk about? Of course, it's not really insurance. I say that actually, going into an LLC versus owning them in their name. I don't know if you've ever talked about that. I mean, that's not really an insurance issue. That's really a legal issue. It's one of those things. Get all the risk out of your name and into the company's name, and if you have to bankrupt the company.
Let's talk about maybe an umbrella policy for a landlord. As far as risk goes, would that be something to take into consideration? Or?
It is, but I literally don't have anybody doing them because
they're cheap, right? No.
They are, but with the commercial policy, I mean, that's $1 million per home.
Mm-hmm.
That $100 is paying for a year is paying for $1 million per home.
Yeah.